That did sound wild.
Yeah.
I think we are
Golden State with one. That's a good win for Golden State without Steph having to go crazy. 13th
all right.
inning
I
in
think
LA.
we are live, DJ. We set it
Yeah.
up. We in. All right, let's do
Okay.
it. What's good, everybody? This is
Good shit.
Inside the Green Room live stream with Danny Green. I'm Harrison Sanford. It is now it is Tuesday, October 28th. We'll be recapping
On the
everything
East Coast,
that
it
went
is.
down on the East Coast. It is not where Danny is on the West Coast, where he just watched the Lakers lose. Even though Austin Reaves just dropped another 40 piece, we're going to get some insights with the Spectrum Sports studio analyst and former Laker Danny Green on a lot of things Lakers. We're also going to discuss what happened on the NBA slate tonight because there were a lot of blowouts, Danny. It wasn't the prettiest night of sports either because Monday Night Football was kind of mid as well. And in the NBA, you saw blowout after blowout after blowout, even though there were some interesting things that did take place that I'm looking forward to talking about.
For sure. And if you're a baseball fan, it's a hell of a night.
Well, for sure. The sports equinox thing, they made a big deal out of it because all these sports are going on. And I'm frankly one of those people who's just like, it's too much. I'd rather watch one game at a time so I could kind of break it down. You know what I'm saying? So I could actually lock in. Like, I don't like an NBA slate like tonight. I'm pinging back and forth from 76ers Magic all the way to Lakers Blazers. I'm jumping around. I can't even pick one game.
OKC, Dallas, like there's so many games, bro. It's too many. It's too much to keep up. I'm wondering when. I'm sure it'll slow down as the season goes on, but it's the beginning of the season. Hot start. People getting bucks too. They're getting bucks, but yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be. We also will talk about the big time injuries, not just to Luka, but also to Anthony Edwards as well, and what the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to have to do to move forward. And then before we finish out this live stream, I'm going to give you my top five teams that I'm worried about after just 1 week of NBA play. Yes, there are some. I know it's early, but there are some worrying signs. With that being said, because the Lakers game just finished, Danny, and obviously you played with the Lakers, your thoughts on what is to be. It's crazy to think about it like this, Danny, but the Lakers season can be decided in the next 2 weeks. They're saying they might not come back to mid-November. Luka's probably going to miss another week. Shams Charania reported this evening that Gabe Vincent's probably going to miss 2 to 3 weeks with his injury. And you're looking at it, you're like, okay, fine. Like, will the Lakers be a very good team or a very hard team to beat in the playoffs? 100%. But if you go through this stretch, 3 games under 500, struggle to get some dubs, now all of a sudden you looking like you could be a play-in team, not because the team isn't good enough, but just because your record might not be good enough. You can't play the Sacramento Kings every night.
Very true. But lucky for them, they're not the only team with injuries. It's 4th game into the season. I'm looking across the board. There's a lot of teams missing people. And it's unfortunate, but they're going to have time. They're going to have ground. They're going to have ground to make up, but they're going to have time to catch back up. So I don't think it'll dictate their season, but you can't have guys out when I know LeBron and Luka are out, but you cannot have Marcus Smart, Jackson Hayes. Like, you're asking too much of Austin Reaves and DeAndre Ayton. You need more of a bench. You get no bench scoring. Rui was decent. Shot from as a team, didn't shoot great from 3. I think he hit 2 tonight. He has to be more aggressive, but they just don't have enough to stay afloat when you have to play Koloko, Bronny, connect like a ton of minutes, Nick Smith Jr. But again, on the flip side of that, you guys got to take advantage. This is where, back in the day, bro, nobody wanted to be hurt because they didn't want to give up their spot. We knew that there was guys behind us able to take our spot. So, like, if I'm injured, I'm not going to be out for long. I'm going to get back as soon as possible because we got guys like Jonathan Simmons, Gary Neal. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make a name for themselves. Myself, I made a name for myself for certain guys getting hurt. Manu Ginobili getting hurt, and I come in and play defense, showing that I'm able to do that. It's 5 minutes turns to 10. Knock down a shot or two. You got to give the coach a reason, or you give him no reasons why he can't. He has to be able to play. You can't make yourself. You got to make yourself to where he has to play you. You can't give him any reasons to not play you, and you got to give him a ton of reasons to why it's like, all right, I got to fit him in rotation. So this is the opportunity for those young guys to figure it out and kind of make a name for themselves and show JJ, like, look, regardless of who's playing, who's not, you can count on me, and I can get you something.
So we know the situation here. Luka's going to be out for a while. Braun's going to be out for a while. And for me, I'm thinking, to your point, it's like, this is going to be, it's crazy to say it like this, but this could be the defining moment of Dalton Connect's Laker career. First round pick. They gave him an opportunity last year. He was pretty much traded. Then they rescinded the trade and he ended up back with the team. And I can remember when it was like the first 2 weeks of his rookie season, it's like West Side Connect. You know, he's about to be that guy. And it feels like the Lakers rarely miss on first round picks, or rarely miss when it comes to draft. They usually draft well, but it doesn't seem like he's fitting the bill. And if there's any time for him to be a somebody, it would be
right
now. Even though he's not a playmaker per se, but he can end up. He's got to be a positive. He's got to be a positive player out there.
You don't have to be a playmaker. There's enough space and him getting some looks from three. He just got to knock down shots, play some decent defense, hustle back on defense, do the little things, and then be a floor spacer, knock down shots, be consistent from that. And I think there's a world where JJ is going to find looks for him, and that he can get open looks if they get stops, run in transition. DeAndre Ayton rolling, he's going to kick and find, or offense rebound, kick and find you. You just got to be locked and loaded and be ready, you know. And I feel like, you know, as a shooter, I'm always like looking at guys like, why aren't you looking at the basket? Even Jake LaRavia, I'm like, passing up shots, you're passing up good looks. And maybe it's the lack of confidence that they have, or they're just not. JJ's telling them, you know, let's see if we can get a better one. But I'm like, with everybody out right now, some of those shots, you're not going to get a better look. You know, if you got the big on you and he's in the paint, or he's like 2 or 3 feet off you, at least look at the rim and give a pump fake to make him close out to where you get a drop to basket. And if he doesn't close out, you got to let one fly. You know, I think they shot a decent amount. I don't know if they shot enough, but they didn't shoot well enough from three. And I think that was more the difference maker than anything between the two of why Portland outlasted them. They got hot from three. Drew Holiday got hot. Avia got hot. Like, they just shot it pretty well. So 32% to the Portland, which wasn't great. To Lakers ended up shooting 25, 26%, which said, I think toward the end it got better. But again, Dalton Connect, I think, hit 2 toward the end. But yeah, 2 for 8 from 3. Like, this is the moment where you get one game, okay, struggle, but from here on out, you got to be a sniper, bro. You got to take advantage of it.
I see a question in the chat, and I want to ask you, and I promise, Will, I'm going to ask Danny the question, because he's also played with this guy. But just give me a moment. But I promise I will ask. I'm curious to see Danny's reaction. But so, Danny, take me back. You're in San Antonio. You're in and out of the G League. You're in and off the team, right?
Yeah.
You find out. What was it? Manu Ginobili is not going to play. Well, give
Broke
me the
hand.
mindset. What would be the mind? Give me the mindset going into that game. If you missed a shot, you made a shot because you knew, as maybe some of these Lakers players know, like a Nick Smith, like this.
Yeah.
This could be it,
bro. Pop didn't care about made shots as much. Obviously, it helped, and the media and the fans care, because if you shoot well enough, they're like, you got to play this kid. He cared about defense more than anything. But I remember like it was yesterday. It was me and Corey Joseph at the end of the bench. And I was like, look, man, it's a long season. And he was wondering why he wasn't getting in or getting any opportunity or looks. And he was a draft pick too for them. I think it was first round for them. Kawhi and Corey. And I said, it's a long season, bro. Don't worry. Somebody, like, not saying I'm playing somebody get hurt, but I'm like, there's always injuries. There's always opportunities. Somebody's going to be out. Something's going to happen. Not even a week into the season, Manu breaks his hand. And he's out 4 to 6 weeks. At the time, we have James Anderson. He's like, oh, he's next in line. He's another one of their draft picks. I said, he's going to get opportunity. If he doesn't take advantage, they're going to be looking elsewhere. So it's like, even if he does get opportunity, they're still going to look to you to back him up. So it's like, all right, I still got to come in and get backup minutes. Telling Corey the same thing. As soon as we get in the game, the mindset is, are we picking up full court? Like, we're making it, we're here. We're going to be full court intense because we don't know how many minutes we're going to get.
Did Pop say you could? Did Pop tell you to press full court?
He tell me a damn thing. Nah, this is what I was doing. He didn't have to tell me shit. I knew exactly what was going on. And it's like, listen, I might get 30 seconds because you don't. The subs come quick. You might get a minute. You might get 2 minutes. If Manu's fresh, it's like, all right, I'm good, because they're not taking that much longer. They're not going to sit long. But it's like, If I only got 2 minutes, I'm going balls to wall for those 2 minutes. I'm picking up full court and I'm sprinting the floor because I don't know if it's 2 minutes or 20. I might be dead tired if we go extra 10 minutes now. But guess what? I'm gonna give those 2 minutes where it's like, all right, this kid is ready to play. So we picking up full court right away. And me getting a couple of defensive stops or activities.
You and Corey picked up full court as soon as you got in the game. Pop didn't even
Everybody,
know.
anybody, Patty Mills, anybody that came off that bench, we came in and knew that the only way to get on the floor is to play defense. And we had to do that. So from me to Patty Mills to Corey Joseph to whoever else that came off that bench, Jonathan Simmons, we had to play defense. And Jonathan Simmons was another athletic guy, but we also knew we had talented guys behind us. So we weren't trying to be outlisted long because we're not trying to give up our spot. No disrespect to the guys in the Lakers team, but I'm sure those guys are not concerned. Marcus Smart is not concerned with who's behind him of taking his minutes of rotation right now. Nick Smith's supposed to be the guy to put pressure on him. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys are supposed to put pressure on, the Jake LaRavias, the Jackson Hayes, or whoever it is, the Vandos. Look, listen, I'm showing I'm here and I'm ready to play. But we picked up full court, bro, from the start to finish. And he liked the fact that I was intense defensively. I was able to deny and play some defense. It wasn't about the shot making, but I got a couple steals. I remember my one real game that showed that I could do something was against Portland and Brandon Roy. And I looked up to Brandon Roy. And I came in the game. I get a quick little drop to the basket, quick dunk. They're like, oh, I didn't dunk. I didn't jump high. It wasn't an emphatic dunk. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, he got to the rim fast. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a pump fake, drove to the basket, quick dunk. Like, oh, okay. We ended up losing. I think we ended up, he ended up putting the subs in. I always got in when the subs come in, but he was like, all right, pull the plug, old guys. Let's see what the young guys can do. We always somehow we bring us back into the game. I pick up full court. I pick Brandon Roy, get a dunk. I'm yelling, screaming. I'm, get like energetic, energized, and just hyped into the crowd. But that was like the start of, okay, this kid is okay. I still didn't play a lot of minutes, but it was like, you know what, he's intense. But from there, that was my staples. Like, I'm gonna pick up full court. And next, I'm picking up Chris Paul full court in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could change the momentum of a game. But it started all with the defense end of the floor in Portland. And then the main game that got me minutes was Golden State. And Monte Ellis was killing us. And it's like, yo, we need somebody to try to stop him. I think he had like 25 at half. He ended up with maybe 36, 39, who knows, 33. But fourth quarter, he threw me in the fire and was like, let's see what you can do. And I played decent enough defense to be like, you know what, you can trust this kid to back up Manu. And then going from being at the end of the bench to playing like no minutes a game to playing like 10 minutes a game. Still needed to earn trust, but it starts somewhere.
It feels like this is an audition for who's going to be when Bron comes back.
Every night is an audition, bro. Every night's an audition in our league. And it's not just for the team you're playing on, bro. Everybody's watching everything you do. Because some people might not value you. You know what I'm saying? You're interviewing every night for the team you're playing on and all the 29 other teams that are watching you, like, that can see you. So some teams you may not fit, but some of the teams, they might see something in you, like, I really like that kid. And next you might be traded for, or if you end up not getting picked up for your third year, like Dalton Connect, they had to make that decision like a week ago, or this month they have to make the decision. And if they don't pick up his third option, he becomes an unrestricted free agent. What is Portland going to say? You know what I'm saying? Or Sacramento, like the teams that they're playing against. We like what we saw from Dalton Connect.
Yeah, so hey, listen, it's time to show. It's time to show improved. I will say this: it is a great audition season so far, at least for Austin Reaves, who put up the 50 ball against the Sacramento Kings. Came back tonight, Monday night, with the 41 piece. Danny, his ability to draw fouls, his ability to just get into the middle of the paint and just hold his defender off. It's like it's so interesting.
It's a skill, bro.
Watch.
It's a skill, bro. And I think if I've heard this correctly, he's number 2 behind Shea. Is that with free throws attempted?
Well,
so that's
I'm not surprised. I mean, look at how many free throws he got against the Sacramento Kings.
Yes, that's still, and I don't think DeMar was too happy about it. I don't know if I read that correctly. I think he said something.
He wasn't happy, but they were fouling him. The Kings played terrible basketball on Sunday night. I don't even want to talk about them, but go ahead.
I mean, we didn't expect much from the Kings. Russell Westbrook played pretty well. The numbers show he was solid. And a couple other guys played pretty well, but it's a show that he can still hoop. But we knew collectively that it wasn't going to work well. But you still think a team like that with no Bron, no Luka, they should be able to you know what I'm saying? When you got Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Dennis
The Lakers
Schroeder.
could play. If the Lakers could play the Kings every night, they would be in a good in a good place. But they're not playing the Kings. The Kings play some dumb basketball. If you just watch that game, it was dumb defensively. It was dumb offensively. And then Domantas Sabonis just looks so frustrated out there as well.
He's probably
he's
detached,
he's
bro.
not
He's
a.
disinterested.
They took away his whole functionality of the offense. Like he's
Mhm.
no longer really like a dribble handoff guy anymore. They just I don't know what they got going on. But let's
In other
almost
news,
I told you I could
shout
rant
out to
about the Kings
Diago.
for a while.
Shout out to Tiago Split. That's the only good thing that said former teammate of mine, former Spur,
Mm-hmm.
current head coach of the Trailblazers. That's one thing for me, like one positive for me to see. But outside of that, the Lakers was tough, and they just needed help, bro. Not having Gabe Vincent, not having Marcus Smart, Jackson Hayes, like it's one thing to not have Bron and Luka, but to not have your reserves too. And this game 4 into the season, game 3 or 4, that's tough, man. That's really tough.
You just gotta hope that that they're able to survive. And I also will say this:
Stay afloat.
I also know the NFL does this at the end of the NFL regular season. I'm telling Adam Silver to do this now. Ain't nothing wrong with flexing games. You just started this NBA on Peacock and NBC partnership. You got it on Amazon. You also obviously got it on ESPN. Listen, man, I know there's diehard Laker fans and I know there's diehard Minnesota Timberwolves fans. There's another game on the schedule that could be a national TV game. I'm not telling them not to play the game, but we don't need no Luka, no LeBron
You could
in
find
prime
something else.
time.
You
You could find something else. Let's just be real here.
There's a
Let's
way
just
you
be
can
real.
revert. You know what I'm saying? You can
I'll happily watch every
reroute.
LeBron and Luka game on national TV when that comes to fruition. But from a rating standpoint, let's be real here. All right, one more thing on the Lakers because I got an interesting I see an interesting question.
Okay.
In the chat, and you know it does make some sense, Danny. Shout out to Will who said, should the Lakers pick up someone like Ben Simmons to help facilitate in the half court and put AR in the half and in the off the ball a little bit more. Now, Danny, you've played with Ben Simmons during the course of your career, and frankly, Ben Simmons might have been the best transition playmaker you ever played with.
Yeah,
I'll stop there.
Wow. Yeah, you gave a lot of compliments. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't expecting Ben Simmons
I mean,
compliments
I
from
can
you.
say some negative things for sure, but
We all know you can. I think Ben is a very talented guy.
That's factual, probably.
Yes, no, he's the main reason why I signed back with Philly. Like I got my career high attempts playing with Ben and got good looks and shot a pretty good percentage because I'm a transition shooter, and running with him, he created a lot of offense not only for me but for the group. Unfortunately, I don't think Ben is what Ben was when I played with him that year in Philly, but I do think there are some free agents out there that this team could use. Because
Spencer Dinwiddie just went overseas.
Just signed overseas.
He just left.
Yeah. I mean, if he would have waited, maybe he could be, but I guess they'd have to cut somebody and make room. So we don't know how long the rest of these guys are out. But yes, I don't know what the cap is. I don't know what the roster spot spaces are. If they can sign, if there's like an injury exception type thing for like a month or two, or you can sign it to a 10-day. But I don't think it could hurt,
there, bro. He's not mentally there.
If Ben turned down the Knicks, if he turned down the Knicks offer, the minimum to, I think it was a training camp. If I had to guess, I don't see him taking a 10-day with the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. And mentally, I don't think he's there. And in that, in that light, on that microscope, on that stage, they will hibachi stir fry cook. If he does not have a good game, he is Benny Hanna in front of his family. They are going to be cooking. The internet is going to super bully him, and the fans are going to cook him and put on the show. So yes, he's not there. And I wouldn't advise it if I was in his corner and telling Ben, listen, man, I know you want your hoop. I'd advise you to go someplace. I don't think the Lakers that limelight. I don't think you need that right now. You need to go somewhere chill, quiet. In Charlotte or DC or something like that, get your rhythm back, show that you can play, and then maybe build yourself up to being, somewhere else.
I still can't fathom his drop off. It's been It's incredible. It's incredible to me.
For sure. I've seen some
Incredible
fast
to me.
ones. His was too, but I've seen some just as like we've seen some guys go from like 6 man a year to out the league within 2 years. You know what I'm saying? And usually it's because of like drugs or something, right? Like we've seen, we've
Yeah,
seen
but
guys
this
talk
this is
about it.
just this is just mentally not with it.
Yeah,
Not with
which
it
is
at all.
crazy because he had it at one point.
All right, let's go around. Let's go around the association now because a lot of other things happened tonight. One thing
Mhm.
that you were watching and I was watching as well. And I said it from the beginning of the season. And I thought too many people were hype about the Dallas Mavericks. I understand
Mhm.
the defensive front line of Anthony Davis and Derek Lively, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. I understand how imposing that could be, but my point was, who are they going to guard on the perimeter? Who exactly is going to stop a De'Aaron Fox? Who's going to stop Luka Doncic? Who's going to stop a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? Well, we found out tonight, Danny, that the Dallas Mavericks might have something if they played more guards. They were getting blown out by the Oklahoma City Thunder, and then Jason Kidd did something that we haven't seen really so far this season. He decided to
Mhm.
close the game with D'Angelo Russell, Jaden Hardy, as well as Max Christie that put that
Mhm.
that left him with Anthony Davis out there and PJ Washington. So Derek Lively was out. He was hurt. He didn't play in the game, but no Derek Lively, no Klay Thompson, no Cooper Flag. And
He
all
also
of a
had a
sudden,
small injury that they're gonna look at. Cooper Flag have
not
a shoulder.
only fair enough. But not only did the Mavericks play well during that stretch, they also held Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to under 25 points,
And
which is
he
almost like a
and
miracle
only
in
2
this.
free throws at the end, right? He only had, like, 2 free
Yeah,
throws at the end of the game,
which is a
which is
miracle
unheard
in
of.
this unheard of in this NBA. So I say it to you again, Danny. Is Jason Kidd in trouble with are the Mavericks constructed in the correct way that they should, or we've put too much emphasis on this big lineup?
I they have the pieces, and there has been too
Do
much
they?
emphasis. They have the pieces, they just have to play them the right way, and I think, again, I'm all for if Cooper Flag was on a team that was a terrible team and we just want him to groom and grow, put him at point guard. But this is not that type of team. We don't need to experiment and to like groom him like and give him the keys, like make this his team. This is not Giannis in Milwaukee. Milwaukee was terrible. You know what I'm saying? This is a different group. I mean, D'Angelo, he was part of that group that helped bring him back. He played well the night before. And until Kyrie comes back, he should be your point guard. Unless you have somebody else that's like, him and then Nemhard, but put Cooper on the wing, but they have, I think, the pieces that are constructed. But yes, there is some overhype to them. They're showing a lot of flaws, but I also think it's because they're just not they don't have enough minutes together. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also not playing the right guys together. So they're showing some light with certain groups. They got to win the other night. They got a close one tonight. They came back tonight, but they didn't win tonight. But I think they have some good pieces. Again, we have to see when they're full healthy. They're missing Kyrie, who was a big part of everything. Clay is starting off a little slow right now. Cooper Flag is still a rookie, and they're starting him at the point guard position. So yeah, Lively's hurt. I mean, there's injuries all across the board, so there's no excuses. But I thought they would be a lot better than what they are showing right now. But again, I give every team a little grace. Even the teams that are supposed to be good, like Orlando, I'm expecting to be better. But it's still early in this. Like, to me, it's still preseason.
Still
Until we
very
get
much
to
early.
around Christmas time or January, then I'm starting to really judge you. But until Thanksgiving, it's still like preseason to me. These are games, but they're more like, I'm gonna say scrimmages, but they count. They're just scrimmages that count, but it's gonna look ugly. It's gonna be nasty, and that's why tonight, even though watching Lakers, that game was a nasty game to watch.
It was. It was. It was. All right. So let's talk about this though, because I think you make up an interesting point. You're the Dallas Mavericks. You just drafted Cooper Flag, who's been heralded as one of the best draft prospects in a long time. He has he has a vast array of skills. He looks like he can do a lot of different things. And because you don't have Kyrie Irving until later in the season, you're saying to yourself, let's experiment with him at point guard. But I think you make up an interesting point. This is not an experimental team. Anthony Davis is not an experimental player. He's a championship quality big man. So to have an experimental player that you're trying to develop while also trying to compete for a championship, it feels like you're on two different timelines. But it looks like the Dallas Mavericks are intent on making Cooper Flag a point guard, and I can't necessarily blame them. You drafted the player, you want to play at his highest level, you wanted to reach his greatest heights. But
He better grow up fast. He better grow up
trying to
fast.
reach his greatest heights can also be a detriment to the performance of the overall team and players like Anthony Davis. At what point, Danny, because you're trying to win a championship this year, at what point are you like, nah, D'Angelo Russell's going to have to be the starter at point guard? At what point do you say, like, yo, this experiment can't last too much longer?
By the new year. I mean, before, to me, I'm saying by early December, but at most, if I'm Jason Kidd, you give it to the new year, by January. Again, he has to grow up very fast if you want him to be the guy. Like, if you want to win right now, because you only have a 2-3 year window with
exactly.
And AD, we don't know how well his body's going to hold up for that duration. You don't have time to experiment. Clay said he's in year 13, 14. Like, he's getting older. Like, all these guys are getting older. You need to make moves fast. So again, this is not an experimental team unless you know and you have a lot of faith in this kid growing up very fast. And if he grows up by the second half of the year, cool. But if he's not showing size by the new year of getting that space, we'll circle back to it next year or this summer. With summer league or beginning of the season, like, let him do summer league, do his own thing and practice with it. We have him doing in practice, but in the games we're gonna have him off the ball. You know what I'm saying, and playing at that 2-3 spot.
You'd imagine at some point too, if you're Anthony Davis, you're like, yo, I see the potential in this kid, but like I only have so many championship years left in my body. It's just it's an interesting thing on how they're gonna try and work it out. I guess we'll see how it plays out. Well, another thing, and I want to speak about another point guard, but just maybe more of a pure point guard. And then one of the national games tonight, it was a Detroit Pistons taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it was a blowout, Danny. Straight up smacked them around 116-95 in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. But I wanted to specifically talk about Cade Cunningham because I think he's in an interesting situation as it pertains to the future of the Detroit Pistons. Number one, roster is a little bit different than it was last year. Malik Beasley, he's got his own drama going on right now, but obviously not in the NBA at this current moment. But even as I look at Cade Cunningham and somebody who places some wagers on Cade Cunningham, this podcast is sponsored by FanDuel. Make every moment more.
Gamble responsibly.
Bet responsibly, please. Cade Cunningham is really a slow starter offensively. He tries to get his guys involved, but I think the issue with that, Danny, is that Cade Cunningham is also the best scorer on the Detroit Pistons as well. So I don't know if he's found the balance of like, yo, I have to score because I don't know if there's anybody else on this offense who can really score. And then at the same time, I got to get my teammates involved. And I think what really hurts them, yes, no Malik Beasley, it is what it is, but they were supposed to have Jaden Ivey back this year, but he's hurt yet again. So that was a crucial part of what this team was building to be. And we don't know how that's going to work out because we haven't really seen this version of Cade Cunningham with Jaden Ivey. And again, so now Cade is in a position where he's initiating offense every single play. It seems like he wants to be a pure point guard, but he's also, it's not even close. Like there's not even a second close best scorer on that team. It is him, nobody else, and then Tobias Harris.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, Jalen Duren is the guy that says a two-man punch with them too. And then off the bench, I think
he's not. But you're not giving him the ball.
You still again. But even the guys that they won with or scored last year, it wasn't like that. You need to give them the ball. Like Tim Hardaway Jr., Malik Beasley, they were all spot up, knocked out, like coming off pin down, shooting space in the floor. Like they gave him. You need more from Duncan Robinson. They're supposed to fill that void. Karis LeVert, he can be a guy, but he didn't play. I think he's injured right now.
Hurt.
He didn't play tonight. But you need those guys to like fill those holes that you're missing to give Cade. And also, so Cade has to. I think that'll change. Cade has to find his happy medium balance of when to start off aggressive, when not. And I think he knows every team is looking at him and keying on him, so he's like trying to lull him to sleep. But it's like, nah, you can't do that every time. Like some games, most games, you have to come out and let them know because they can't stop you regardless. But they know what the scout report is. You're good enough.
It's almost like he needs to come out with like
that way.
15-point first quarter. And then
at least 9. At least 9 in the first quarter. 9 in the first quarter. Then you can like dish here and there. But then the first half, you got to have you a 18 to 20 ball, and then maybe you can coast. But you have to average 28 a game with those guys out, probably, which is crazy. But and it's a lot to ask of somebody, but he's capable. You know what I'm saying? Like you're
Yeah.
capable of averaging close to 30 points a game. So yeah, you got to come out more aggressive. And I think somebody will tell him, like, listen, we need you to score. I'm sure Tobias, like, yeah, we need you to score. Like I love that you're facilitating, and he's probably benefiting more than anybody. Like I'm getting some open looks, but you got to score. Only way we win is if you score, and then it opens up the floor for everybody. Now we'll get easier looks. So.
Shout out to Adam Tate, who circled back. He said PJ hasn't been doing enough. Make him the 6-man stopper and start D'Lo. I'm telling you, man, D'Angelo Russell gonna have to be the starter. I appreciated your points on what you said about Cade Cunningham. Another game that caught my interest as well, Danny. Again, you said the teams are starting slow, but some teams are starting fast. Chicago Bulls have been pretty impressive.
Yo,
Josh Giddey and company, Ayo Dosunmu's have been hooping. They have multiple guys who are contributing across the board. I don't know how much you've been able to watch them, and I know people want to
not watch, but I've seen that they're winning some games though. I haven't been able to watch, but I've been checking the scorecard. They've been hooping, bro. And one without Kobe White, right? They were out
without Kobe White, yeah, for sure. I mean, they've been getting, Billy Donovan got that contract.
Very balanced scoring, bro. 8 guys in double figures.
Yeah, they're playing good basketball. Here, another person, Danny. One more before I want to talk about Ja Morant and Kendrick Perkins. But one more person who's been playing very good basketball, and I think we have slept on him so much because when we talk about guards in the East, it's always Brunson, it's always Donovan Mitchell, and when we talk about rookies, now we're starting to talk about VJ Edgecombe. But I want to talk about your former teammate Tyrese Maxey, who went off yet again today. Bro, he has right now. He's got the full. I remember at one point when you were his teammate, you were like, yeah, I don't know if you're really going to turn out to be one of those guys because he didn't have the 3-ball at the time. Now
I knew he could be good. I didn't know he could be that good. He got the 3-ball fast. You know what I'm saying? And he became a shooter, shot 40% like his second year, 40. Last year he struggled a bit, but him shooting a 3-ball and adding that to his game, and not only just off the dribble, step back, double step back off the pick and roll, like not just catch, to be able to shoot in different angles of the game makes him that more dangerous and dynamic because we know his floater is 99. Him get to the rim, how fast he gets to the rim, it's hard to stop. So, and he's athletic. So for him knocking down threes is unbelievable. I think it's just opened up the floor for everybody else. Like Quentin Grimes able to get off a little bit. VJ Edgecombe's able to get, like, he's getting some good shots. Kelly Oubre, like, they're figuring out how to hoop without Joel right now, which is a good thing. So if they can stay afloat, they're 3-0 right now. It's a great start. And Joel actually resting and playing limited minutes. Like, you're putting yourself in a very good position right now to be at the end of the season. Like, you know what? We're gonna be healthy. We're gonna be hooping. Joel's gonna be back. We can get a home court advantage. Boy, I think the city of Philly might be buzzing.
I would want to temper expectations if I was a Sixers fan in terms of this season. But I will say this is probably between him, and I saw Edgecombe tonight again, between him, Edgecombe, and McCain. If this Joel Embiid and Paul George thing does not work, which you got to bet against it not working because of their history of bad health. If that doesn't work, you could still say to yourself, all right, we got Maxey, we got McCain, we got Edgecombe. We got our 1, 2, and 3 for the next decade. Yeah. Regardless of what happens with PG, regardless of what happens with Embiid.
And all you need is just like a couple guys to fill some shooters, a center. All you need is a couple pieces around it. You're gonna be solid.
You're gonna be solid. Dare I say, Danny?
They drafted well. They drafted very well.
Mess around and get one more lottery pick as a big man. I know you don't like Duke guys, but Carlos Boozer's son.
Oh, he's killing. We tried to get him to Carolina. Oh God, I was hoping we got him at Carolina. We tried to get him there, but his numbers unbelievable. But yeah, again, on the next level though, I guess he'd be a 4, right? He wouldn't be a center.
He'd be a 4, yeah.
And today's game, Draymond starts at the 5, so I don't see why he couldn't start at the 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he'd be a pick and pop 4. He can. Yeah.
Okay, I will say this. I want to talk about another one of your former teammates, Ja Morant, because he was in the media for some comments made by Kendrick Perkins. So I will say this though. It's not just Boozer. It's also DeBansta and also the kid from Kansas as well.
Yeah.
There will be some teams. There will be some
Mhm.
teams at a certain point this year. They're going to be like, you know what? It's time to tank. It's going to happen. For those who like
Happens
to
every
bet
year,
over,
bro.
who
Every
like
year
to
happens.
bet over. Nah, see, but usually it happens every year. But there's like one player. If you end up in the top 3 this year, you're
Yeah,
like, yo,
everybody's gonna be. They're gonna be.
there's
They
gonna
got.
be some. There's gonna be
Yeah,
some massive tanking. I would say maybe around December-ish, Christmas-ish, it might be time to be betting some of those unders on team
for
wins
sure. I
because
think teams tank
somebody's
regardless, but
gotta get
they
one of
know
these
that.
kids.
Yeah, it's just gonna be. I wouldn't say an abundance of tanking because I feel like everybody still when you know you don't have a chance, they want to get lottery picks. They want to try to get the number 1 pick. But because that they have multiple options of getting picks, the top like there's probably 5 kids that you're like, all right, I can get if I can get one of these, especially top 3. But there's 5 of them, like they're in a good spot. So there might be an abundance of tanking outside, which again I think it's the same every year. They're just more teams will get luckier. You're like, oh, they got 3 pick. How the hell did so and so get the number 3 pick? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a team like Houston. How the hell did
I got
so like?
we gotta keep it moving. I want to get to so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about Knicks Bucks tomorrow. We're also gonna talk about Warriors and Clippers tomorrow as well. And I'll also give my top 5 for teams that I am worried about, but have to discuss this before we move on. Mr. Ja Morant and Kendrick Perkins. Now, Kendrick Perkins essentially he said Ja doesn't bang with them anymore, Danny. Because of what Kendrick Perkins has said publicly in the media. And then he basically explained that ESPN went down there, did this whole thing with Ja Morant and really put a highlight on what the Memphis Grizzlies are about. And he said that basically Ja Morant made him look bad because he was advocating for Ja Morant getting him and the Grizzlies getting more coverage than obviously Ja had his whole thing, his whole nonsense that took place. I don't even. There's so many different questions I could ask you. All right, let's start with number one. Number one, when you first started working with ESPN, and obviously, but you're on year 3 now. You're on. Is this year 3?
Yeah, about that.
ESPN?
Yeah, it's like 2.5-ish. Yeah.
When you first started working for ESPN, how did you feel about maybe some of the more aggressive comments that were made by some of your counterparts, like Kendrick Perkins?
I had no issues with those guys. I think once I went and understood what the job pertained, like you know what I'm saying, entailed, I understood like this their job is to criticize. I don't think anybody's ever come into me in a personal way. So like I've never had like the LeBron,
Well, that's the thing.
Stephen
Ja
A, or the
had to have
Skip,
some.
Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've
Yeah,
never had anybody personally come attack. And I've heard some people talk some mess, like maybe calling a game, like just not really talking mess, but like hating a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've heard little small subtle things, but
yeah.
so it was more awkward for me just being on the other side of it, how my teammates or how former teammates will feel about it. Like, am I an informant now? Am I the feds? Am I the ops? Do they not care to talk to me? Do they not care for me? And again, I don't know how some of them feel. And Ja being one of them, I don't know how our rapport is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't spoken to him since the issue, and I don't said social media, I don't know if we don't follow each other. I don't know if he follows me, but again, I don't know how he feels about the media. He made it very much clear to Perk, and I think other media heads that he don't rock with him.
But that's the thing. Like, what does Ja expect? Like, if you're that out of pocket, what do you expect people to say?
For sure. Again, two different things of what he should expect and what somebody actually expects. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't predict how everybody feels, how they react. Not everybody has the same feelings, emotions, or is logical. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we should expect someone to act a certain way, but we can't predict or determine that. We have no idea what he expects. We have no idea how he sees this or views this. Mind you, he's a young kid. Young kids don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe when he gets older, he might understand, oh, okay, you know what? I was tripping. Perk is out of pocket for saying that but Ja was also out of pocket for some of the things that he did. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's Perk's job to speak on the thing.
Yeah.
He has an obligation to speak. Now, does he have to say it in the way he did? Maybe, probably not, but he feels he probably has some ties because he knows his dad. Maybe he knows Ja from when he's younger, or he was pushing for the kid heavy, and he might have been one of the guys in the meetings, at the rooms at ESPN, like, look, we need to go down to Memphis and let this happen. I don't think Perk is lying about that. Is he the reason that Ja got notoriety? No.
No.
We know that, but I don't think that's what he's saying. In a sense, he's saying like, I made a push for this. We had these meetings to go see you guys in Memphis. It didn't turn out well because of what you've done off the court, not what you've done on the court. And he's like, I held you to a higher standard because I care. I believe in you. I think you're great. And I've continued to push you, but you not only made yourself look bad, but you made the community who pushed for you look bad. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. But yeah, again, I don't know how Ja or my teammates. So that was the biggest thing for me is how teammates received me once I went to the other side of it. But again, I started to gain more respect for when I was playing. I was told, they're not your friends. Don't talk to them. So there was a couple people I felt bad how I treated them when I was in San Antonio. Like San Antonio, I want you talking to none of the media. And I never got a chance to tell them personally, but I will at some point. Like, hey, Ramon, I'm sorry. I was told not to talk to you. Chris Haynes, any of those guys, Jabari, Young, like, yo, I'm sorry. They told me not to answer your calls. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I see both sides of it, and I get that it's their job, and I actually gain more respect for the journalist side of it and them doing interviews and actually asking questions and the research and actually be able to speak up and have the balls to actually criticize, knowing that these guys
see them.
Yeah, you're gonna see him. Like Perk knows he's gonna get this. Like, listen, this is my job. I got to do my job. So, regardless of how much I like you, dislike you, whatever, I got to do my job, and it's gonna take me having to burn some bridges and not care. So, I shout out to Steven. It doesn't matter. He doesn't care who you are. He's gonna speak his mind. Skip the same, Perk the same. Like, that takes some balls. But again, I think there's also a way to go about things without making things personal.
For sure. I mean, and then obviously, we working in entertainment. Some of it has to be performative to capture your attention.
For sure.
It is what it is. There is one question that's coming in the chat, and if you guys have questions for Danny, I will make sure to relay them to him. Felix, I see you. I'll get to you in just a moment, but I do want to come back to this though, Danny. Two questions. There has been somewhat of a movement in the basketball community to hate on the haters. Like the hate has gone too far. Saying a negative comment about said player is no longer as celebrated as it used to. Like there's not as many hate watching. It's more like, let's celebrate the game. And there's something that Adam Silver even said last offseason as the NBA was going into its new media rights deals, that he thinks it's incumbent upon the media, former players just like you, to stop with the hate of today's game, because the game is as good as it's ever been. But because of the popularity of, let's just say, a Charles Barkley or a popularity of a Skip Bayless, I think a lot of media types or people who aspire to get the type of bag that Charles Barkley has gotten or that Skip Bayless has gotten has trended towards, let me say something negative, in a performative manner in order to capture attention and to capture clips. And there has been, as of in the year of 2025, I have seen an online community really be like, yo, we've gone too far with the hate. These guys
and it's hurting the game. It's hurting the viewership. Yes, I agree. I mean, but be who you are. Some guys that's just who they are. They're good at doing that. Not everybody needs to do that. Not everybody needs to be a hot take guy or go in the negative line. Like, you can be a positive guy. Before JJ was coaching, he was the one that fought for the players and spoke positively in a light. And I think a lot of people gravitated toward listening to JJ and watching him. And even the players respected him. Like, yo, I like how JJ's handled himself with the media. There's a lot of guys that do that. Richard Jefferson. There's a couple of guys that you can go down the line and be like, yo, he doesn't really do hot takes. He does positive things. He speaks well. And that's one of the guys. That's one of the guys I want to be. And not saying I'm judging those other guys, but hey, they're good at what they do, and it's entertaining, it's performative. People like to watch it. They can do it on both sides, but I think for them, it's worked to be the villain sometimes, and they're okay with being the villain. That is not a job or a role that a lot of people can handle on any front. When it's in the basketball court, off the basketball court, in media, not everybody can handle that, because everybody's got something to say, and people are going to criticize you, especially if you're the villain. There's going to be a lot of people going or voting against you than they are going to be for you. They're not going to be rooting for you. They're just waiting for your downfall. Just count on the minutes. But yeah, I agree. I think that's what hurt the viewership for last year. Like just the negative talk and all that. Like there's ways to put positive spin on it, because the talent is unbelievable. Yes, there are some issues. Like we had some injury issues. We had some guys out, people don't like load management. The style of play is different. There is a lot of 3-pointers. We're trying to figure out ways to make the game a little bit smoother. But all in all, it's the best talent we've ever seen. You're not going to see
you're not going to see a
big
Wemby
7-footers doing step backs and behind the back 3-pointers between the legs, pushing the break, blocking shots, being on offense, doing on both ends. We're not seeing that. Jokic throwing the ball behind his head, finding guys from one corner to the next corner without looking, just throwing. Luka Doncic, just a magician, you know what I'm saying, and making it look easy against the best players in the world. He's not doing it against pickup guys in LA Fitness. They're doing these things against the best players in the world, other great players. So this is the best.
Somehow we found a way to hate still, which is
and
wild.
we take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? So I think we need to be more on the positive side and understand, this game is not easy, regardless of who's on the floor or what happens, and what era it is. We need to respect each era and find ways to talk about it in a positive light. So, and yes, and it only will make the game much better, and said the fans appreciate it more, and our viewership all in turn go up and be better for everyone.
I appreciate your points being made there. Okay, I want to get to the Knicks and Bucks on Tuesday night. Also get to the Warriors and Clippers on Tuesday night. But I want to make sure that we answered one question that did come in the chat. And if you guys have questions, I will be sure to ask Danny those questions as well. And I think this one is pretty self-explanatory, Danny, but maybe it's not. Do you think Austin Reaves can be an all-star?
I think he's very capable of it. I think it's the fit.
I
don't know about he'll be one this year.
Yes, give me this year.
The only way that happens is if Lakers are in the top 5 of the West and Bron sits out half the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be one of those years, when Drew Holiday got, not saying that he didn't deserve all-star, but Giannis was out most of the year. Chris Middleton was out most of the year, and Milwaukee was still very good. So it's like, you're going to get the nod, you're going to get the vote. He had a good year. So, yeah, it's got to be one of those type of years for the Lakers and for Austin Reaves. But, yes, he is capable, especially on other teams. He's proven that he's probably the best third option in the league right now, of what he's doing at this pace. And he's proven that he deserves an extension very, very handsomely north of what some of these other rookies have gotten.
That's going to be the complicated thing for Rob Pelinka, because when that bag is due,
unless LeBron is gone, it's going to be very hard to keep.
But even still, Danny, let's just we're going back to the Lakers because I think this is interesting.
Yeah, if LeBron's gone, you don't think it's him and Luka,
Even if you wipe the slate clean, and let's just say Luka's the only person on the payroll, right? And you have an opportunity with a world-class, one-of-a-kind, first ballot Hall of Fame talent. The most important thing that you need to do as Rob Pelinka and Lakers management is now create the ideal roster around him. And in order to create an ideal roster, you have to allocate the money correctly to the right positions. Let me ask you this question. This is not a talent evaluation on Austin Reaves, because I think we all understand he's all-star caliber. If you were a general manager and you had Luka Doncic, what position would you be spending that next max contract on?
You need a center lob threat. Like, you need a lob threat center and then shooters around it.
Obviously we know that's the case, because last year they tried to get Mark Williams.
Yeah.
But let's get specific here. Would you allocate a max salary slot to the big man, or can you just get a starter big man, an all-star big man, or do you have to say like, yo,
you just need a couple of lob threats. You need a couple of lob threats. You need to max them out. If you can get a max big, which is hard to.
But that's what I'm saying. Take a step back. You are Rob Pelinka. You're Rob Pelinka, and everybody else in the NBA is a free agent. You can get the premier big man. You get premier two-way wing. You can get another ball handling, playmaking, scoring ability guard like Austin Reaves. We're not talking specifically about Austin Reaves. We're talking about a player in his mold. What position? Let's say Austin Reaves is off the book. LeBron decides to retire or go to another city or go to another team. What position? And you played against Luka Doncic now multiple times. What position would you be giving a max salary slot to?
That's a good question, bro. That's the reason why I'm not a GM. 1, 2.
But you still gonna have to answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer. Said I don't think you have to with Luca. You don't have to. I'm okay with Austin Reaves getting maxed. Like Kyrie and Luca made it work. I'm okay with that. And just having shooters
Mm,
around you and having solid bigs. You don't need a max big or a max shooter. I just need some defense. I need bigs that can lob threat and protect the rim. I need some shooters around me, and I need a second ball handler just in case something happens to Luca. He needs to be rested some. If during the season you're gonna need to take some time off in the playoffs, to like him and Kyrie, you need somebody to, you know what I'm saying, peel off the ball some. You don't be his usage rate don't need to be James Harden all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we need, I'm thinking another guard. Or like I said, again, he is such a franchise guy. He's done so many times bringing a team to the Western Conference Finals or the finals damn near by himself without like super max guys. It was other than Kyrie, like I said, Kyrie. All you need is good fillers. Now you can use a max contract to get 2 or 3 guys. I'm using that max contract to get 2 bigs, but I'm okay with Austin Reaves and Luca being a pair and then finding shooters around them and 2 solid bigs. Whether it's
okay.
some in the draft, within the draft, or you just need somebody that's a lob threat for him and that can protect the rim defensively. You know what I'm saying? Because all they got to do defensively is send guys to the rim and make them protect the rim. That's what he had in Dallas. Because
I like that.
none of those bigs to me were max guys.
Yeah, you're right. How quickly
We forget.
We forgot he was in the finals with Kyrie. I guess Nico Harrison forgot a lot faster than we all did. Damn, that's crazy to me. That's still so nuts to me. Okay. I really wanted to ask this question about the Grizzlies, but we don't have
Why
enough
not?
time here.
We have time to get let's do a quick.
All right, well, all right, real quick, and then I'll get to the question about the Warriors and Steph. So we play with the Grizzlies, and when you were there, and you and I would talk, we used to say, "Yo, these guys," and they lost tonight to the Golden State. We used to say, "Yo, this team can literally be the next dynasty." Yo, remember, Danny?
Yeah.
Remember when I stepped out? Remember when I stepped out and I said, "It's
They
not
could be
that
the next
they
Golden
are."
State Warriors.
I said individually
They could have
they
better
could be
careers
the
than
next
Steph,
Golden State Warriors.
but
They could
yeah,
have the better Steph than, because I think as a
Ja could
basketball
be an
player,
MVP at some point.
Jaren Jackson Jr. could make the argument that he could be a better basketball player than Draymond Green. He's got a 3 ball. He was an all defensive type of player. He just
Defensive
did some
player of the
foul
year.
trouble.
Good
Yeah,
defensive player of the year.
he was defensive player of the year. Desmond Bain, at one point, he had scored more threes within the first 4 years of his career than anybody else in the history of the NBA, including
If
Klay Thompson.
they were a top 2 seeded team for the next couple of years, you would have 3 All-Stars. Like all 3 of them could make the All-Star game at least. You know what I'm saying? Alternating, like how the Spurs did with some years Manu make it, some years Tony. They didn't have all 3, but they would have multiple All-Stars between 3 of them.
And obviously, Ja Morant is not Steph Curry, but Ja Morant at his peak is an MVP level caliber player. So, what's going on with the Grizzlies?
Bro, they lost Desmond Bain. It's a lot. It's just too much movement. Everybody's gone. I don't think there's not many guys there. When I was there, which is not long ago, it was only like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
everybody's damn near gone. Only Ja and Jaren are still there. Vince Williams, they have, I can't even give you who else.
I like the kid said. I like this kid said you're coward. I like that they picked up KCP.
Yeah, he's good.
And I like Jalen. And I like
Jalen.
And I like Jalen Wells as well.
These guys are not there long enough to take a shit. They're just in it. Everybody's gone. They're in and out. They're quick stays. So hopefully KCP can stay there and build a rhythm. The kid Cedric Howard is good. I like what he's done so far. You got to build up. Big man.
Jared Jackson. Jared Jackson Jr. is already in year 8. It's in the broadcast tonight.
It's kind of crazy.
Like, damn.
But what's his name is Zach Edey's the guy you got to supposed to be the Steven Adams role. But you lose Steven Adams, you lose Dylan Brooks. Now Desmond Bain is gone. Tyus Jones, you back up. Zaire, like everybody's gone, bro. I don't recognize them. And then Taylor Jenkins is gone. They fired him at the end of the year. So like it's just a different atmosphere. Everything has to be figured. Coaching staff is like it's a totally different thing. So I don't even know what to think of them, but it's just too much movement, and they need some stability in order to find themselves again. To me, so if they keep a group together for a couple of years, maybe they'll find it. But I know this is the NBA, it's not college, but the teams that usually have the groups that together for at least a couple, like Cleveland, a couple of years together, they usually play well regular season. Memphis, they had all those guys drafted and been together for like 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Like those guys have been together when I was there with Dylan. Continuity. They knew each other well.
But that's the thing. Like once I feel like at one point, at some point, it could just like expire. There will be an exhaustion of like, yo, we tried this with Jaws, our main guy. We tried this with Jaren Jackson as our number two, and these are great. I mean, they're great players, but they might just get to the point where it's like, yo, it doesn't work. It is what it is. All right, let's go. Let's move on over to Tuesday night in the National Basketball Association. Knicks taking on the Bucks. Clippers taking on the Warriors. Now you already know how it's going to go, Danny. I think at tomorrow I'm calling the over. I'm calling the over 2.5. Over 2.5 major stories from major NBA reporters giving some more detail to
About
the
Giannis's.
Giannis
Okay.
Antetokounmpo connection to the Knicks. And I'm for sure during the broadcast on NBC tomorrow, there's going to be over 2.5 mentions of Giannis going to the Knicks. Let's just we'll revisit it in just a moment. But
Definitely
let's get
over.
to,
Definitely over that much. There's going to be
yeah,
definitely
for sure.
more than two. There's going to be at least 3 mentions of it throughout the broadcast. Like, you kidding me? It's going to be
Now
probably the main topic.
here's what I will say. As I watched the Knicks lose to the Miami Heat on Sunday night, and here's
Norman
where
Powell giving the Bucks,
he was doing his thing.
giving them
Here's where
buckets.
and I'm on record as a Knicks fan, somebody who works for MSG Network here in New York City. I'm on the record saying I don't want to trade for Giannis because it's not going to be a straight up deal. It's not just going to be Cat for Giannis. It's going to be Cat plus something plus something plus something. Then you get Giannis, which I don't think you break up this core. I will say this though, Mike Brown is trying to have the Knicks play. It's so interesting. Somebody said this to me. He said, I was celebrating the Mike Brown hire because I said to myself, yo, Jalen Brunson is getting caught up having the ISO way too much. You're putting way too much strain. As great as he is, you need to be more unpredictable offensively. And then somebody said to me, a supporter of Coach Thibs said this, I understand what you're saying, but what if this team simply can't play fast? What if the personnel is incapable of playing the way Mike Brown wants to play? And I said, damn, I haven't even thought about that. And it didn't come back to me until I watched them on Sunday against the Miami Heat, and they tried to play fast and they looked discombobulated. Again, it's early. It's early. They barely have had time to
That's
practice.
not. That's not. I think OG can play fast. I think Mikal Bridges could. I don't think Cat and Brunson is like that's their. I feel like they're more half court set type of. You know what I'm saying? I think half the team can, half the team are not used to it. I think Josh Hart is good at pushing the tempo. He's a transition guy. But before the season, I said the same thing. I don't think you should trade Giannis, but watching it now, and I know it's still early, but the bench isn't as deep as I thought it was going to be. So I'm okay with giving up Cat and bench or bench and somebody else to get Giannis. I'm okay with that because not only said lost Brogdon to retirement. Not that he was like I don't think he's going to be a big move, but I thought he was a stable point guard to have come off the bench. And now the guys that you thought were going to give you a lot of Clarkson, Wabusele, like Shamit, like Cole, you thought those guys would give you, they're not really giving you as much as I thought. Like the bench he's playing them more, but they're still not giving more. You know what I'm saying? Enough to me. So, and I'm okay with that. If they traded and used, it wasn't a straight up piece, but you had picks and bench pieces, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But other starters, yeah. Or I said it's either Cat or Bridges, right? it's one of the two, right?
So it's obviously, again, the Knicks are very far from a finished product. We haven't seen Mitchell Robinson play yet, and he's going to be a big part to what they're doing, especially defensively. It will be interesting to see, can Mitchell Robinson play in an up and down ball movement offense? Like, he's not
Yeah.
Domantas
I forgot about
Sabonis.
him. You could put Mitch
You know what
Robinson
I'm
and I said
saying?
if you package Mitch Robinson with bench and either Mikal
I
or
mean,
Cat, like, it'd be a lot.
yeah,
But yes,
that's a lot
I
to give
would
up.
I would try to keep Cat and said I would give up Mitch Robinson and bench and maybe if
Nah,
you had to throw in
that's not
Mikal
enough.
Bridges.
That's not enough. That's
With
not
Mikal
enough. That's not
Bridges? So Mitch Robinson, Mikal Bridges,
I'm
and
not.
bench?
I'm too much of a Knicks fan to hear about the dismantling of my team already. It's only 3 games into the season, but I will.
Yeah.
But going back to my point, I did think it was interesting. Now I understand what that person told me, saying that what if
I
those
didn't think they needed to
players
play fast.
can't
I think they needed
can't
to play
play under Mike
deeper.
Brown's system.
Yeah, and that's why we thought it was a lateral move. I didn't think firing Tibbs, unless you knew for sure you had somebody. I think Mike Brown is a good coach, but I just don't
He
think
is. I mean, yes, it's
I don't think he's
undeniable. He's a good
I don't think
coach.
he's a bunch better than Tibbs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's still to be decided whether or not he's going to handle his team better than Tibbs or that he's better than Tibbs. Again, I don't think they need to play fast. I just think y'all needed a bench and actually use the bench. When Tibbs actually used the bench and tried to, it helped and worked, but it was kind of too late. Guys didn't have a rhythm, didn't know their minutes. Like that's the only thing. So
Yeah.
again, I didn't think that they needed to play fast. I thought they just needed more ball movement, more offense, but more involvement from their bench. There's more depth, bro. Honestly,
I did. It was one of the things that I never saw under a Tibbs team, but I did see them on Sunday play in a way that looked like they were
in mud,
nah,
just not,
disheartened.
yeah, just not used to
Like
it. They're just
like they lacked again this I don't want to be hyper. I don't want to talk like I don't want to go crazy. I'm not trying to make a hot take here. But they did not play with the grit that they are usually accustomed to. The biggest joy of being a Knicks fan over
they
the
come in with
past few
confidence
years,
usually. I feel like
whether
you're saying they didn't have the
they
confidence when they were
yeah,
playing in
whether they
that style of
won
play.
or lost, you knew that they were going to play hard. And Sunday was one of those games where I was like, "Yo, where's their spirit at?"
Where's their swag
Like
at? They have no swag.
they didn't have this, and maybe that could just be they're trying to find their bearings about them. They're trying to understand the new
I
offense.
think it's a big part of Josh Hart coming off the bench. Like I feel like he's the one that kind of brings them that chip, that swag. Like I'm saying, like and Mitchell Robinson, like those two guys. And so if they're both not playing, or if he's coming off the bench, I feel like it's harder for him to bring that. Now he's kind of second guessing himself because he's the guy that would say play above himself, but he's the guy that guys would dare to shoot and he would knock down shots, shoot 40 from three. And they're like, yo, we're still not believing it, but he's like, all right, y'all gonna believe in it. I'm gonna hit threes and I'm gonna get
They're gonna grab
transition, I'm
10.
gonna get
Yeah, I'm
rebounds,
gonna go
I'm gonna get
grab
triple
10
doubles and
rebounds as
shit.
a
Yeah,
6'4"
it's like
guard.
get triple
Yeah.
doubles. It's like what wasn't doing that anywhere else in the world, but in New York. And then Mitch Robinson blocking shots to do. You know what I'm saying? So those two guys bring those plays that bring the building up. And if he's coming off the bench and doesn't have that mindset, or if he's hurt, and Mitch Robinson not being there, it changes a lot of the dynamic of the New York Knicks swag for sure.
Deuce McBride also didn't play on Sunday. Again, it's early, but not a big fan of any team that I root for playing in a manner that makes me feel that they are dispirited. And they felt dispirited on Sunday. It just felt like they were confused, like they didn't really have their. It's not something I ever saw on the Tips, and that was one of the greatest parts of watching those teams. All right, we got to get out of here. We're almost getting close to wrapping up here, but want to talk about Clippers Warriors on Tuesday night as well. Hey, Danny, I know you're maybe not the biggest Clippers fan. I mean, biggest Warriors fan. They look good.
They look good
again tonight.
Good.
Multiple
and I'm not gonna
players
lie.
in double digits. Pods, Kuminga, Draymond, Jimmy, Buddy Hield, Danny. They blew.
I'm tired of seeing them win
Tonight and didn't even have to score. Didn't even need 20 from Steph.
Yeah, that's a big. To win like that with Steph on chill
and Moses Moody.
Yeah, no, to have Steph on chill and like not go crazy. Like that Denver game, like Steph had to go crazy. I'm like there's no way they can be able to upkeep that. You know what I'm saying? He has to score 40 from the win those type of games. For him to win a game like this, mind you, it is Memphis, but for him to win like them to win like this and him be on chill and not have to go crazy, it spoke volumes of the group. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, Moses Moody 20 off the bench, Bazemski 23, 20. Yeah, so it's a good win from their hooping, man. And again, I'm not a big Warriors fan. I'm a little biased toward a little hate here and there, but I respect the guys on the team that I'm like I root for Buddy. I root for Steph. I think they're great guys. You know, I root for Draymond. Been on his pod before. Try to get him over here at some point. But yeah, I'm just tired of seeing them fucking win, man. Sometimes, you know, not that it depends on who they're playing. I might be rooting for them, but a lot of times it's like I can slightly feel myself like, you know, rooting against them. Like, you got to make that. If you're going to be playing Charlotte, come on, Lonzo. What you doing, man? No, Melo, what you doing? Brandon Miller, what are you? I'm saying, like, just randomly rooting for those. I'm like, why am I rooting for this other team? I have no ties to.
It's the
But yeah,
Spurs for
maybe it's
you.
because I think you're
I
muted.
like
By
to
the way,
see
and I
you
can't hear
still.
you. I think
I
more
like to
so
I like to see you
because
still have your competitive spirit.
and Dre is my guy, but I think because he be out there talking a lot of shit. People just like everybody wants to see him lose. You know what I'm saying? So there's like, and not saying I want to see him lose because of Dre. I'm just tired of seeing them win because Golden State's been winning. But I don't need them to have more reasons to talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want them to be more. Here's what it
Are
is.
you
You don't
still
want them
muted?
to
Because I
be.
can't hear a damn thing you're
Am I
saying right now,
muted?
bro.
I don't know why I'm not muted. Am I muted?
I
No, I'm
hope
not
you can
muted.
hear me. If you can hear me, cool. But I can't hear you at all.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
Well, hopefully the people can hear you because I can't.
I can. Do y'all hear me? Say something in the comments. I can. I mean, I hear Danny.
Yeah.
You can't hear
Well,
me?
my AirPods are still connected. So yeah.
Yeah, we can
Anyways,
hear. Yeah.
seems like we probably need to wrap it up.
No, your joints are messed up because people can hear me.
I cannot hear you, but you want me to tell them what to do? They need to read, rate,
No,
subscribe, review because
people can hear
we need
me.
to log on. Let me see if I get these audio speakers working.
It's your
Can
joints.
you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me? Let me try these
Yeah.
air. Hello. Test. Yo.
That's a thumbs up, DG.
Yo.
Can you hear? I can hear you.
Dang. I can't hear
Can't
you.
hear you on the screen. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Nope.
Well,
I don't know why I went to the default AirPods.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to end the stream early if you can't hear me.
I can't.
Yeah, something else connected to your headphones.
Nah, son.
Oh, you can hear me now.
Now you back. I can hear you now.
Ah,
You
there
was
you
in
go.
I had to take you off the headphones and put you on the computer, and then I put you back on the headphones. But
Okay.
nothing else
Technology is a
connected.
gift and a curse.
Man,
Gift and a
yeah.
curse. All right.
Figure that out with him.
I was just saying you just don't want the Warriors to end up being another dynasty that's more celebrated than the Spurs. It is what it is. I like that you still have a competitive fire to you. So
Yeah, man.
it
They
is
won
what it
enough.
is.
They won enough, bro.
It might make you hated in San Francisco and in the Bay, but you're just being a competitor. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have to do here, DG? Oh yeah, we're almost pretty much done. I did have to give you my 5 teams that I am worried about. Unless you guys have any questions, I'll ask Danny before we get out of here. But I do have to give you my 5 teams that I am worried about, even though it's only 1 week into the season. I'm going to name you my 5 teams, and then
That you're worried about, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, so
You could tell me. You could tell me in what order they should be, but I think the 5 teams shouldn't be too hard for me to label. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, the Sacramento Kings. What I saw from them on Sunday was absolutely terrible. At the end of the game, we had they didn't understand who's gonna have the ball, who was gonna take the last shot, what set they were going to play. They had no identity offensively. It would look like 5 different people that wanted to take the last shot. They also had no identity defensively. The fact that Austin Reaves was able to fool them into multiple fouls, play after play after play after play was ridiculous. And then they were giving up backdoor cuts. And what makes it even worse, Danny, for the Sacramento Kings, and this is probably why they're my number 1, it looks as if, and I know Domantas Sabonis just came back and he's trying to get acclimated. It looks like he wants out. Point blank, period. He doesn't have the role that he used to when he was with De'Aaron Fox. We do a lot of dribble handoffs, really initiate the offense. When you have DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Dennis Schroeder, you're really eliminating Domantas Sabonis as a dribble handoff type of playmaking type of center. They don't fit. It doesn't fit at all. And you could see the frustration with him out there on the court on Sunday night. They lost whatever the light the beam thing was is dead. It's a wrap, and it's not coming back. I don't understand why they made the Chicago Bulls East and put it on the West. It makes no sense.
The beam has no battery.
Put it on a t-shirt. The beam has no battery.
Has no battery. It's gone.
Undisputed team that I am worried about. Number 1, the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah. Fair enough. They definitely should be number 1. Go ahead, number 2.
Oh, you'd even had no comments on that one.
Nope. I fully agree.
Okay. All right. Team This is a little this is a little bit more difficult because we are early into the season. But team
Hmm.
number 2, Danny, and we talked about them earlier, the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And yes, I understand that it's a long season and Cooper Flag could very well turn out to be a top 5 player in the NBA 5 years from now. But to Danny's point that he made earlier, and something I've been saying a lot long of since the drafting of Cooper Flag, you have a team on 2 different timelines. You want Cooper Flag to be the point guard of a team with Anthony Davis right now in the Western Conference? How many games do you want to experiment? And besides that point, as we've seen throughout the course of the season, they don't have people who can guard on the perimeter. As much as maybe you could champion PJ Washington as someone who can guard like a Kawhi Leonard. Think about all the fast guards that are in the Western Conference: a Steph Curry, a De'Aaron Fox. Danny, I don't even think they have anybody to guard James Harden. And like, I don't. James Harden will put PJ Washington
Or
in that.
Kawhi. Yeah, it's
Or
gonna be
yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
they or I know the Suns aren't a great team. Devin Booker would drop 50 on them easy if he wanted to. They don't
Yeah.
have perimeter. They don't have perimeter defenders, and they don't have a playmaker. And they're trying to make Cooper Flag. And again, Cooper Flag could very well turn out to be a very good point guard. But to do this now with this team in this Western Conference, it does it. I'm worried they're going to force something that is not going to allow Cooper Flag to be his best or the team to be its best. You're not utilizing what you have. You're not maximizing what you have.
Yeah. Well, number 3. I knew that was coming. But go ahead, number 3.
Number 3.
Do you need help with this one? I feel like I can help you out here.
Ooh. I know. I mean, there's some teams I feel pretty good. Okay, number 3. Number 3. Here we go. And
I feel like there's teams that I feel good about, but they're just in a bad
No,
situation right now.
number 3. Number 3. I don't need to see too much more. The Brooklyn Nets. I just
Yeah, I mean,
it,
they are what they
it,
are. They are what they are.
you have what? How many point guards do they have on the roster? And the ball still ends up in Cam Thomas's hands at the end of the game, so he can take incredible shots that he either misses or he makes. I saw him hit some incredible shots against the San Antonio Spurs on Sunday. He's a very good player. It doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. The roster just does not make sense. You do not want to be in a situation where you're encouraging Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas to chuck. And that's the situation that they're not grooming. They're not grooming championship basketball. We all understood that they're not going to win a lot of games. But and then you could probably speak to this. There is a value in building championship habits, building a championship defense, building a championship offense. And the way they are constructed for Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. to take like 20 shots apiece per game and not even be set up like all off the bounce, like low, not they're not low IQ players, but low IQ shots. The shot quality is poor. You're not setting yourself up for success.
I feel like yes, they should be in there. I feel like Dallas could be lower. Dallas could be at 4 or 5. But yes, Brooklyn.
I didn't give a number. I didn't give a
Okay,
number just yet.
I'll give you the numbers once you're done. So let me see number 4. I'll give you the
Another
numbers once you're
team.
done.
Atlanta Hawks not playing any defense, bro.
Yeah,
Now
it's just now we could
that
easily go to like DC, Charlotte. Like DC looks pretty bad.
yeah. But
But the
I'm not
teams that you're
necessarily
expecting something from, the teams you're
exactly.
expecting something. I feel like
Exactly.
I'm
I'm
not
not
expecting much
necessarily
from Brooklyn.
worried about
But
that.
yes, Atlanta is a team for sure. Atlanta, Dallas.
Well, and here's the thing. And here's the thing, Danny. Last
Go
year,
ahead.
even though Dyson Daniels was celebrated as this great defender, they called him the great barrier thief because he was getting all the
Mhm.
steals. It's the Hawks still had a bad defense. They were still
Yeah.
a bad defensive team. So you can
He just
celebrate
got a
all
lot
the
of steals.
steals. Yeah, you can celebrate
Yeah.
all the steals all you want. But your defensive rating is still poor. Your defensive rating is still poor. And again, it's only 1 week, but considering all the hype that they got going into the season with them getting Kristaps Porzingis, with them bringing Nikhil Alexander Walker, excuse me. I don't know, Danny, if they're ever going to. Ooh,
Is this
I
number
don't know
4?
if they're. I don't
Atlanta's
know if
number
they're
4?
ever.
Okay.
I don't know if they're ever going to be a great defensive team, and
And they
that's
have the
just
pieces
not
to do
good.
so, which is crazy because you have Jalen Johnson and you got a lot of length there.
Nikhil's a good defender too, and so
I think it's
is
supposed to be a
Dyson
rim
Daniels
protector.
relatively.
Yeah, it's supposed to have some pieces, but yeah, that's disappointing. Was his number 4 or number 5 we're on?
That was the fourth one, and you know what? I don't want to be too hyperbolic, so I don't even know if there's a 5, Danny.
I got a couple
Who'd
for you.
you? Go
So
ahead.
there's teams you left out. I think Brooklyn is a team that it is what it is. I put them in the Charlotte DC category. I don't expect much from them, so I don't put worry on them.
Okay.
Yes, number 1, I would agree with you. Sacramento is number 1.
Hands down.
Because mind you, again, they're a team that I don't expect much from, but they have a lot of teams. They have names and makeup. They're supposed to be better than what they are, but they're not.
The roster
The
doesn't
other
make
team,
sense.
it doesn't make sense. The other teams that I'm worried about, but I think in a good spot, Orlando, I thought would be better. I'm just not seeing it
It's
from them.
early.
It is early. Again, I'm just not seeing it from them. I put them at 5 though. I put Dallas at 4. I think at 2 and 3. I'm gonna say I think Indiana, even though Indiana is down bodies, them down being 0-3 right now, and they had some couple overtime games with Tyrese being out. This is gonna be a tough year for them. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough year for them.
Danny. That's it.
Indiana's
That's my FanDuel bet of the show. Hold on,
Indiana.
keep going. I gotta go.
And then I feel like I feel like Atlanta and Boston, like Sacramento again. If I didn't you mentioned Sacramento, I probably wouldn't have had them in that category. But Boston, Indiana, Orlando for me, and then you said so. I got Atlanta, Boston, Indiana. Who else did I mention in that I said I was worried about? Do you remember? You had Dallas. I had Dallas at 4. Yeah. Yep,
I'm sorry,
okay.
Danny. I'm looking at the odds here because I'm so curious to see what they're listed as because I think we just caught on to something. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yo, so that's crazy. Think about this, Danny. Look at that. Look how it shifted. So preseason, guess how many wins the Pacers were slated to have? Yes. According
over
to the
50.
sportsbooks.
Probably
The
over
Pacers?
50. Yeah, even without Tyrese, if they have TJ McConnell and 43?
46.
Okay.
Their over-under was 46.5. They lost what Sunday against the Timberwolves?
They lost the first 3.
They lost the first 3. Guess what their over-under is now? Guess what their total
40.
is? 33. 33. I'm thinking to myself, okay.
That's a big drop.
I'm thinking to myself, yo, I could take the under because going back to what we talked about, Boozer, DeBansta, and Patterson out of Kansas.
Yeah, the picks.
Hey man, I know Tyrese Halliburton's done for the year. I might have to. I know Benedict Matthews is going to try and get paid. Maybe if I don't want to pay him, I end up getting one of these star players coming out of college. And next thing you know, I got him, Pascal, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Listen, my team.
I would have taken the under, but now 33.5 is just way too low. 33.5 is just way too low.
That's crazy.
They lost 3 games and they lost 13 games on the win predictions.
And then games were close games too. It wasn't like without bodies. Like TJ McConnell's not. I think Matthew didn't even play last game. Like there's bodies out. Now considering the injuries, Lakers might be in my top 5, bro. Worrisome. Like if you're not getting Boston, Atlanta, Orlando, Indiana, Lakers. The injuries are going to cost them some game. Like those are the teams that have expectations for. Not a lot from Indiana, but more than what they said with the 33 games. But those are the teams that I'm worried that like if y'all don't get healthy, if y'all don't get right, I expect, not saying big things, but expected more from Orlando. Indiana definitely expected more. Even Boston, like I expected a little more from them. Even though they made moving parts, I feel like they had a system and they had some pieces. But now looking at them, it's like, man, it's gonna be a rough year for them.
But that's Danny. I think that's why I put a lot of. Remember when we did our preseason stuff? I put pressure on some players to like perform and get. Like one of the players I put pressure on was LaMelo Ball, because I'm saying to myself, if you can't make the East now, when are you ever going to make it? Because there's going to be teams that are going to get injured, and they're going to say, you know what? It's time to get in the lottery. You see the Pacers win total now. I think the books, no. The books are like, yo, one Pascal injury, wrap this thing up. see y'all for the draft.
Yeah.
That's
We're
all.
gonna get
That's all they need.
we're gonna get a top 3
Hey,
pick. That's all they need to do.
Boston, Jaylen Brown have one little ankle tweak, one little hamstring joint. Wrap it up. We're going to the draft. Wrap it up. Hey, what's that DeBanster kid looking like? Oh, how many scouts you think they got over at his games at BYU already? Man,
At least
listen.
6.
That's exactly why the Knicks and the Cavs have no excuse. Like whichever one of those teams doesn't make it to the finals, they're not going to be good, dog. Because the East I'm telling you, the East is going to be shut down for business coming around February, dog. After that big trade deadline over, East is shut for business.
Oh, it's a hell of a Monday, man. Good recap, bro. Sorry we kept y'all so long. It's been cool, man. A little hour and 20.
It has been a
good pod.
I wish we actually had a game to react to.
Something that was worth reacting.
Some mid action.
Yeah, it's just that it's still early. It's preseason to me. But hey, man, y'all know what to do, man. Read, rate, subscribe, review.
Peace. Y'all.